Join us for a review of the new BMW 5 Series facelift. Let's go! Please subscribe to us if you haven't done so far, and thank you so much for all long-term subscribers. Here the new BMW 5 Series in the front. BMW 5er would be the German pronunciation, by the way. Here you can see the new double kidney. It is wider than before, more aligned with the headlamps, and they also receive new daytime running light signatures. LED is the new scheme, of course, all over the place. It starts already base LED headlamps. They more have a U form as a daytime running light. This is, in some markets, optional adaptive LED then with this daytime running light form. The US, for example, will directly start with this here. This is also a matrix LED with high beam function. And the one you can see here with the blue accentuations would be the third step or the second step in the US. This is the Bmw Laser Light. Now, again, we are allowed in the market up to a 650 meter range of high beam, and also with an adaptive function, 4 meters 96, 16 foot 3 or 195 inches, 2 centimeter or 1 inch longer than before, but of course the wheelbase also hasn't changed. It's just a little bit more spoiler overhang because they changed the front and the rear end of the vehicle. In the side profile, not too many changes, besides a couple of new colors. Again, the Phytonic Blue is one of the new colors. Here you can see the M badge because it's the M Sports package, which is the design package. So you can also pick, for example, the plug-in hybrid and then still go for this M look. 17 to 20 inch wheels available. These are the top ones. 20 inch is also completely new M wheel here for the 5 Series. So a very strong look here already for the plug-in hybrid variant, which will here in the 530e also come for the US. In the rear you get new tail lamps here too. They are first of all more three-dimensional in the base shape, and then also they are directly behind this top layer. Usually manufacturers add another layer on top of it. In that way here you're basically closer to the light itself, so it looks even more three-dimensional. Very interesting. Also a new back part here for the spoiler, and this M Sports package also adds this diffuser here in the lower rear, a sporty design and also with contrasting color. And again, no job for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police here today, because the rear tips here, they are actually going through this one element with the real exhaust. As for engines, 2-liter 4-cylinder or 3-liter 6-cylinder, both petrol and diesel. Then there's also the V8 petrol for the 550i and also for the M5. And new plug-in hybrids with increased electric range, either like this here with the 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid 530e, or there's also the new 6-cylinder plug-in hybrid in the 545e. However, this one here only available as a sedan version and also not coming to the US. Strange. I think a plug-in hybrid as a sedan here, 6-cylinder, that would have been something for the US. Sometimes the market strategies are a little bit strange. So again, this here, the 6-cylinder PHEV sedan only and not in the US. So here the 530e will be the plug-in hybrid version for the US, and it will also be available then in Europe as a touring. And still with 5.9 seconds to 1 kilometers or 62 miles an hour, it still has some decent power and also upgraded range. So now they say is about 60 kilometers or 35 miles pure electric range. And a new battery, 12 kilowatt hours or 11.2 kilowatt hours net. You'll charge it right here, driver's side, and 3.7 kilowatt max AC charging. Not too much, of course, but you usually leave it overnight and then it's already full again. Now to the interior. This will be very exciting. First of all, door closing sound. Very solid. Then inside of the doors, you have the sporty insert right there. It's also in a matte style. Soft touch top part, and also here, leatherette Sensatec used here at the inside of the doors. Optional Harman Kardon sound system. Also bottles will fit right there. Then it's also here again with the M Sport model with these entry badges, aluminum pedals. The ambient lighting is, for example, already integrated right here. There's also a soft touch right there. Sensatec dashboard is also available, by the way. Then more ambient lighting right there. This also then gets the M steering wheel. Cruise control controls the left side here, right side for voice activation if you don't use this Hey BMW, or also for the volume right here. And heated steering wheel, if you have the option, is activated right there. And then big news for the seat. In Europe, you start with a base fabric seat that looks a little bit, slimmer than this one and is available either with fabric or Sensatec in 3 colors. This one here is the sport seat, an option in Europe, or standard in the US. You see with a little bit more bolstering right there, so a little sportier style. So really cool that they also put it standard for the US. And this one here, as you can see it right here, this is the new perforated Sensatec. Also available in 3 colors, black, beige and brown, or cognac they call it. Very interesting, first of all, because it is now perforated, so it is passively breathable. That's definitely a step forward, and they massively stepped up the game as for the quality. It feels so soft, no one could really feel a difference to like the top luxury, high class, most expensive option for the usual animal skin. This one here even feels softer than the animal skin option, which we also can show to you. Very interesting. And the difference, by the way, if you have the base seat, it will look like this, perforated all over the place in the Sensatec. And if you have the sport seat, you also get this quilting structure. So this is then reserved for the sport seat only. And headroom here for the 5 Series sedan, 1.86 or 6'1", plenty of headroom left. This one, the version without the panoramic roof. Now the interior overview, BMW 5 Series facelift. Here you can see the nice ambient lighting integration, of course set to Thomas Blue, and again with the nice insert right there. And it's also cool that the screen form here is mirrored in the lower part right here. Well, here a lot of black panel lacquer use. That's not my favorite, but other than that, we also picked the bright car here just for you as a display. I told you also the Sensatec seats are available in the bright style. That always gives a little bit more light to the interior. Here again with the M steering wheel, shifting pedals are also available for the combustion engines. And the screen setup, it would start with a 5.1-inch small screen with analog gauges, still available for the base model. On the right side then a new 10.25-inch screen, so bigger than before in the facelift. But this one here is the optional setup, 2 times 12.3-inch, so digital instruments on the left and the bigger screen on the right. However, both screens, the smaller and the bigger one, come with OS 7 operating system 7 now by BMW. That means over-the-air updates, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Yeah, the gesture function is always funny. So also Android Auto now available, but both wireless and wireless only. That's, I think, the catch. I like to be able to plug it in if I want to, because more secure more reliable connection to me, I think. But only available in the wireless way, but now both systems actually quite cool. Now to the infotainment screen. Once again, touch here and very responsive, good CPU. And also how you get to your destination, usually pretty flawless. You can either then use it here with touch. You can also use the turning and pressing knob here for zooming in and out. Or for example, also the voice input, either with Hello BMW or another activation word. Drive me to Berlin. So you can also set your personal activation word. And here, just Berlin, or then to BMW dealer in Berlin. So that works quite well. So very nice integration. What you can also do is set the temperature when the engine is running, for example. So some voice command actions only working when the engine is running, actually. Or also new for this vehicle is now that you can say lower the windows, and the windows are being lowered. Also interesting voice function, new one. Then the car menu right here. Oh, I also have the color here in the visualization. I like to have these details that they really pay attention that it's the proper color that is being set here. For the plug-in hybrid, you can also plan your charging, for example, or there's also a preconditioning before departure, not only for heating, as with the independent heating, but with the plug-in hybrids, also for cooling before. And the digital instruments, 12.3 inches, clear to read, and also with a nice blue visualization on the inside. You can have GPS information on the inside. That's also the reason why the RPM meter goes counterclockwise. Here, when the engine is not running, you don't see too many information. This is a display car, so we cannot turn on the engine here right now. But other than that, there would be the RPM meter, or here for the plug-in hybrid, you have like a gauge where you see where you are in an electric state, and then above that you can see that the combustion engine is on. Very interesting. You can see more of that in the driving part of the plug-in hybrid vehicle. This very vehicle here has the option here for the tinted windows in the rear. Looks more sinister. Ooh. Then let's open the door, and you can see soft materials inside of the doors, and again these insert leatherette covers at the armrests here. And the cool thing is also that for the rear seating, when you have these new Sensortech seats, you have also perforated Sensortech in the rear here. This is very cool, so you also have a little bit more breathable rear. And also here in the rear, they do not save material, no cost cutting. It's also a very soft one, not as plush of course as it with a quilted structure in the front, but here also both very high quality. And you feel here also the difference. This is like the normal, more old school one, and here then there's also the new perforated one. It feels indeed also a little bit better. Now let's get inside. As for the legroom, standard, of course, the facelift hasn't changed that. You still have plenty of legroom right here. Yes, the car is also very long, so it's no wonder. And headroom also directly works for me. The touring version, the Estate, of course, would continue a little bit further with the headroom than when you're even taller. Boot capacity of a 5 Series sedan, 530 liters. However, here with the plug-in hybrid, you do lose 120 liters, and that's here in height because of the battery, which is placed below this. So, soon more to the measurements. The first visual thing you can see here, you can also put this one here down, then you have more height right here. And if you put it up again, the advantage is that you have an even loading sill. This is very rare for a sedan. Again, you lose in height, but an even loading sill is also good to load things in and out. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the BMW 5 Series facelift. Here today also with the 545e 6-cylinder petrol engine together with the electric motor. And let me show you an acceleration sports mode. So both powers combined, combustion and plus electric drive. So that was already 50 to 100 kilometers an hour. Pretty impressive. So wow, really good performance. The 0 to 100 kilometers or 0 to 60 miles figure would be 4.7 seconds. So that's a second slower than an M550i. Almost 400 horsepower and 600 Newton meters of torque for this 6-cylinder plug-in hybrid. So very, very decent. And yeah, you can really drive in a very sporty way, no problem. Other than that, most of the time you will leave it in the hybrid mode. Soon going through all details. First of all, in general, about the 5 Series facelift for all the models. Once again, driving has not changed that much. It's very sovereign feeling. The car sits so calm and good on the road. The noise installation is superb. It's very silent in here, and you got a natural driving feeling here. Every single half degree angle is, you do feel everything. There's no dead zone area. A very natural experience, a nice sporty experience, yet again not too heavy to control while driving. Here again, when going left and right, this car feels smaller than it actually is, because also this vehicle here, this very one, has the option of the integral active steering. Means that BMW, the rear axis steering, 3 degrees in the opposite direction from the rear axle than the front axle, and this gives us so much more agility at lower speeds, and also when easing in and out the basement garage, for example, this is so much easier. So this is an option. It's not cheap, no, but it is really an option you should go for, because it makes easing this, full-size vehicle around so much easier. So that's a very, very good option. I just love driving with that. It fakes a shorter wheelbase, so to speak, and you really feel that it's very, very notable. And they introduce it also with the facelift now, that you can get it for all engine variants besides the M5. This is the only one. It would be possible, but they really decided against it intentionally. That's not M philosophy. They say, yeah, I think it's a wrong decision, that it should still offer it. But I mean, yeah, it will not be such a thing for them, for most 5 Series customers. So an M550i with always steering, or like with rear axle steering, would still be a great choice, definitely. And also for the plug-in hybrids here, this is available. I'm overall really impressed. So the first time I'm driving the 5 Series now electrified. There was one before, but I haven't driven it yet. And the 7 Series I've also been driving with the electrified version, and I think it really works very well. This can be a good engine choice for a lot of customers actually. And it really brings more joy. You still have that combustion engine, but this electric driving is really, really joyful. Here at the moment, by the way, again, according to the map data, because we're on the countryside route with 100 kilometers an hour allowed, 60 miles an hour. We're a little bit slow because of the truck here at the moment. But then again, the map data decided, it's better to have the combustion engine now more efficient, because when you're driving the combustion engine at about 80 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 60 miles in a steady way, then the combustion engines are like in a very ideal state of efficiency, and then it really makes sense. And again, save the electric drive for city stop and go, because in city stop and go, the electric drive makes more sense. Once again, with plug-in hybrid vehicles, you have the discussions, is it the worst or the best of two worlds? And you can argue both ways, and probably both arguments are right. It really depends on the exact route and your personal use case. What is the case, in this case? But in a lot of cases, it really makes sense. And to me, this plug-in hybrid driving, really adds to the overall driving experience. So, general 5 Series facelift, once again flawless, great addition with the Sensortech seats, rear axis steering, great option definitely. Nice combustion engine choice with both the 6-cylinder and the 6-cylinder petrol. If you go just combustion engine for like most fun, or still a good fun economy relation, because they're quite efficient. Even more fun would be the 8-cylinder, but then really less efficient. For economy models, of course, the 4-cylinders, both diesel, petrol available, you can go for that. The 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid will be, a very interesting choice also for, when you get governmental subsidies, want to keep the price a little bit lower, still go for the plug-in hybrid version. This will be a very interesting engine as well. This one here, combining a little bit more this pure 6-cylinder fun with the electric drive, really cool solution, definitely. So pretty interesting what I've done here, and you see also design-wise here with the new tail lamps and also the front lamps we've seen before. The changes are not that you see it's like a completely new vehicle, but everything they've done, they've touched here, to me is really a nice step forward. So one of the recent facelifts I'm really very, very satisfied with. And of course, looking forward to your feedback now. What you're thinking about the hybrid driving experience and about our general facelift driving impressions. To me, it's been like a very, very interesting ride. What about you? And now to our conclusion for today with the new BMW 5 Series facelift. From the exterior, a sleeker design definitely, more playing around also with the light, and especially more modern tail lamps that look quite impressive. Then from the interior changes, big news with the new SensorTech seats, so more breathable material, high grade and definitely more sustainable and more animal friendly. So a big step forward here for this top luxury segment, and even also increasing the comfort. In general, the build quality is very, very high. Also these upgrades then with the infotainment systems, no matter if you stick with the base setup or then with the optional 2x 12.3 inch setup, that's definitely also another step forward, so more infotainment use. And again, also for all the Android Auto users that now can also mirror their smartphone right there. It will also show the way for the upcoming BMW models, which are, also in the pipeline there. Then driving-wise, the BMW 5 Series remains among the best in the segment, has a very natural driving input, comfortable and sporty at the very same time, no matter in which version. The optional adaptive suspension really does a great job. You do not miss any air suspension for that, because here also at top of the comfort and top of the sportiness at the same time. This is also what makes this car special. Good option when you have the rear exit steering. This makes it easier to ease around in the parking lot, for example, and also gives you some more agility at slower speeds. Interesting drive also today with the plug-in hybrid models. Both will be interesting, the 6-cylinder and the 4-cylinder. If you predominantly drive electric, especially when the city commuting and so on, it won't make such a difference if you're 4 or 6-cylinder. And when you use the combustion engine, it's quite often then when you are on the longer hauls, and then you might go cruise control. And then again, the difference is not so big between 4 and 6-cylinder. So I think if you're not in a market which gets the 6-cylinder plug-in hybrid, it's not too bad. And here the 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid, both available with the sedan and the touring. A touring plug-in hybrid, this will be a very, very interesting choice for sure. Yet again, the one we've been driving today, the 6-cylinder PHEV, it's quite a nice vehicle, probably also one of the best combinations right there. Good in performance, and still you have this silent driving feeling for the 5 Series, which really, really fits to the vehicle. So, very interesting impressions here today. The only thing that always remains, it's again a car that is very, very high in the price. And the plug-in hybrid won't change that. Unless you get some governmental benefits, then it can really actually also be cheaper to go for the new PHEV versions. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Leave us your comments about the 5 Series facelift. Let's discuss it right there, and see you next time.